Hi and welcome to another Suntex instructional video. In this video we'll take a quick look at how to enter new fabrics or new components into BUZ. So starting here, we're looking at the home page of BUZ, and from here if you wanted to add a new fabric or a new fabric range, we would go to COGS here on the settings, and then we navigate to inventory items. And here we can see the tabs which represent all the fabrics or components linked to each of these products. So let's say we want to enter a new fabric range. In this case, we might focus on roller fabrics. We would then go to the, I'll just go back here to import export button. And what we want to do here is export the existing and current list of all the fabrics for rollers. So I'm just going to be focusing on RB09 rollers for now, and linked rollers, roller blind here, and box 90 all use the same fabrics. Now, along with that, another product that uses the same fabrics are the panels. So in case we're updating the rollers, we would also update the panel selection as well. So down here, I'll just go for panel glide complete, panel only option, and then plus complete and plus panel only. So with those selected, I have selected that, by the way, by holding control button and just clicking on individual items like so. With those selected, we can now export the list by pressing on the export button. And this will ask us where we would like to save the Excel document that was generated by BUZ. So in this case, I will just save it on my desktop, and I'll give it a specific name so I know how to find it easier. In this case, I'll give it the date 2024, 02nd, so February 8th, and I'll name it roller and panel fabrics. I already have a file named like that on the desktop, so I will just replace that one. Yes. Okay, so now we have saved the Excel document that contains a list of all the current fabrics for rollers and for panels. I will now open that document by finding it on the desktop, just here, and just double clicking on it. There we go. Okay, so when we first open this document, we will need to enable editing, which is this button at the top here. Let me just quickly zoom in on that. Here we go, enable editing. And now we can make changes to this document. In the bottom here, you will see that there are tabs. Each of the tabs represents a product type. So here we have linked rollers, roller blinds, box 90, panel complete, panel traditional panel, panel only option, panel plus, and panel only for panel plus. So they all contain the same type of fabrics, and they all use the same type of fabrics. In this case, we want to add a new type of fabric for all of them. So what I would do is I would scroll all the way to the bottom where there's empty fields, so we can just continue adding here. So let's say we have a list of, or a range of fabrics. I will just copy, as an example, just this selection here. We would have a list provided to us differently, but for now, we will just add these ones that exist here for simplicity's sake. And I will go Control V and paste those in here. So you can see that here in this column D, we have a range. Column E is the type of material, which is blockout. And column F represents the color. Column G here is the link to the price grid. So in this case, we don't have anything, but this duo block fabric, for example, is a category 2. So I will use that to fill out these fields as well. So let's just say I am typing in the category here, which is LR-RB09 cat2. cat2. Okay, so now because all of these belong to the same category, I will just hold my control button and drag this to the end. And this will apply the category or the price grid to all the fabrics we have just entered here. Another important field to note is the description field. Now this field is important because we can see the product type or the fabric on our job sheets or on our reports once the order has been completed by a customer. So in this case, we would like to custom make these description fields ourselves. You could leave these blank like this and BUZ will autofill those fields, but it uses a format that isn't actually legible for us in our use case. So we like to customize this. Excuse me. Okay, the way I do this, we have the already used format we can reference at the top here. So LRB stands for linked roller blinds. I would put, I will use the formula to quickly fill out the entire column here for the fabrics we want to use. So how I do this is by starting the formula by entering equal sign, and then in the open apostrophes I would type in LRB space dash space closed quotation marks, then use the sign ampersand. This just means that we're adding something else to this string, the string of characters. In this case, I want to use the D column here, which is do a block. Note how I'm doing everything in the same line here, in the same row, which is 914 at the moment. Another ampersand, and I want to add a space field here. Another ampersand, then I want to go to block out. And another space, and Aztec. Okay, now when we have this all selected here, if I hit enter, this will give me an appropriate format for the way we want to represent this fabric. So if I were to double click on this little, I'll show you a little bit closer, on this little square here, Excel will fill out the rest of these for me, like so. And that's a very quick way to do that. Okay, next thing we want to focus on is the discount column, which is I here. So this is a discount. Now these are rollers, so they all fall under the same discount group. I will just select the two like this, or one, and double click on the little square in the bottom right, and that gets copied over. So now all these columns that follow, we don't actually have to do anything about them until we reach the active column, which is AM. So this is just a question whether this fabric is active or inactive. And in our case, we want it to be active because we're just adding it. The date column isn't necessary. AO column is the operations column. And this is the important one as well. In this column, we actually decide whether we're adding, editing, or removing this fabric. So in our case, we're adding, and I will use the operator A, which stands for add fabric. Okay. And then we can highlight these two together and double click, and Excel will fill out the rest of the rows with the values. It goes all the way to the last used row, so it's pretty clever that way to fill it out itself. Excellent. So what we have here is a well-formatted fabric entry, which we can use. Now the last thing we want to focus on is on the this description column here. Default option for BUZ is to actually auto-assign the names to these fabrics. So we don't want that. This option can be changed if we go all the way to the top and remove this asterisk sign here, click enter, and now our values that we've entered at the bottom will be saved to BUZ. This column here is the unique identifier for this fabric, so we don't actually have to do this. BUZ will take care of that itself. And I would now save this document here. Now the next bit is super simple, but a little repetitive, because we want to add the same type of fabric to the other products down here. So what I would do is copy the couple of rows here that we have, Control C to copy, and then go to the second tab here, remove the asterisk again, and scroll all the way to the bottom, where we can paste all these items again. It's no longer copied. Let's copy that again, paste them here. Now, immediately you'd see that this code here, the LRB, is not valid anymore for this type of fabric. So I would go into the first formula that we pasted in and change that to just RB. And we now kind of fall into the whole template here of the roller blind. Again, double click on that, and we have updated that to match the previous entries, which is good. What we have to do here is now use the price grid code. So this is category 2. I will just change the beginning of this to RB09, actually ROL, RB09 or RB9, sorry. Now we're matching the rest of the price grids here. Whoop. Actually, hold Control and drag it down. And that way we have the accurate price grid selected. I think this is everything that we need to do here. We're here adding fabric again, and it's set to true. So the operation is still accurate. And this is the process that we have to repeat for all of these other products. I'm not going to do that for all of them in this video, just to keep it a little bit shorter. And this is all we really need to do. We can just save it again and close that file. Okay. So now, to enter these fabrics into BUZ, we will go back to our inventory import page. And we would go to select file and select the file we've just edited, which is this one here, 2024 February 8 roller and panel fabrics, and click upload. BUZ now shows us the list of all the products that we have in that Excel document. Okay, so we have made changes to these two sheets. We would normally make the changes to all of them, but in this case we've only updated the two sheets here. And by selecting them with holding Control and clicking on the appropriate fields, we can select the ones, the worksheets that we want to upload, or the list of fabrics in this case. And then just click import. Now I anticipate there will be an error. Yes, there is 9 errors, and the reason for this is because I've copied the existing fabrics at the bottom of those sheets and tried to import them again. Now BUZ knows this is now a duplicate entry, and it will not allow us to enter these in, which is a desired effect of BUZ. So this is the way to do it properly when there is a new list of fabrics. I will just cancel here. When there's an actual new list of fabrics, this will be accepted, and those fabrics will now be added to these products, linked roller and roller blind. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope that was clear. Let me know if there are any questions. Thank you very much for watching.